you taught about in school about money, you're not taught diddly.
Oh, for sure.
So, especially in the Marine Corps, when everyone in the military is living paycheck to paycheck, and like doesn't have any money.
Yeah.
Not great mentors to have. Super Cush, me and one other guy, we would play Call of Duty on our phones for 6 hours. Our company gave us $15 a day in Uber Eats, and we were the masters of like finding and picking deals, like where we could get like 4 burritos for $11. Shout out to La Hacienda.
So funny.
And yeah, that's what we were doing. And as time went on, about a year after that, they're like, hey, we're going to let people start going into the office. You need to start wearing a mask. I was like, okay. People came back into the office, and it was like 8 of my buddies, where we would hang out either inside of work or outside of work. And then some of the higher-ups started coming in, and they're like, oh, how come you're not wearing a mask? I was like, oh, we've been working together for the past 3 months. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then when more people started coming in, and even higher-ups, and they would watch us on the cameras walk in and out without a mask on,
a problem.
Yeah, it became a problem, and my other coworkers would put it on to walk in, and then once they got to their desk, take it off, or once they got into our secured back room that didn't have any cameras, they would take it off, and we would just kind of hide back there for the rest of the day. Bodie is being super jelly bee that we're not interviewing him, but so it got to the point where like I was just like, I'm not playing this game. Like, and also with, you mentioned the financial company, when I was doing that, I would still go into stores without a mask on and like prospect and like talk with people and like try and get numbers to either grow my business or grow my book of business.
Right.
And I would get a bunch of looks from people because I'm walking around these stores without a mask on. And once again, finding the I'm not good at, if it doesn't make sense, I'm not going to do it.
Well, you're such a critical thinker, and you can see your critical thinking skills all throughout your story so far, even in like the life paths that you've chosen. And so it makes total sense that you would use that same lens to view the state of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where like the vice president of the office, or whatever his position actually was, like called me. He's like, hey, so we need you to wear a mask on, or else we're going to have wear a mask or find remote work, or else we're going to have to fire you. I was like, okay. He's like, okay. I was like, yeah, that's fine. He's like, all right, well, we'll give you 2 weeks to find another job that you can do, a billing task or whatever it was, and we'll reconvene in 2 weeks. I was like, okay. So 2 weeks goes by, I get an email, hey, have you found any billable work yet? I was like, no. I was like, everything that I want to do and that I'm qualified to do is hands-on.
Right.
And they're like, well, we're going to have to let you go. I was like, okay. So, and in the exit interview, the woman from HR was super uncomfortable. She asked, so do you know why you're being let go? I was like, yeah. I find that it's stupid that I can legally, through your rules, leave work, go to the bar, have a beer with my coworkers.
Yeah.
But when I come back into this office, I need to put a mask on. Can you tell me why that makes sense? And she's like,
he says it doesn't make sense.
Bodie just said it doesn't make sense. And she was like, well, that's the rules. I was like, but the rules don't make sense. So that's why I'm opting to get fired, because your rules don't make sense.
Yeah. And this was like, you said this was a year afterward, like, so this is like not the height of 2020 anymore.
No, this is
after the
this
fact.
is October of 21.
Wow. So that's a really long time after the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah. So.
If you guys could see Bodhi right now, he's
Yeah.
like, he's just needing all the attention. He has both of his paws on Dylan's leg and
he is
tongue out, he's ready. He's ready for his portion of the show.
Yes. So that was October of 21, and then in November, my ex had gotten a message on LinkedIn, out of all things, asked, hey, do you know anyone who is a personal trainer or wants to become a personal trainer? And she's like, yeah, I know someone who would very like to do it.
Yeah.
And it's funny how things come full circle. So I had seen a friend of mine, Kelsey, go to this outdoor workout thing, and with a company called Camp Gladiator. So when I found out the company, or when she told me what the company was, I was like, oh, Kelsey went to that. Let me reach out to her and see what she liked about it. And she's like, yeah, I love what they're doing. I love what they stand for, where they're going, and I'm actually going to join them in there as a trainer.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe she's got something here. So when another connection is another gentleman that I used to go to our church. He's like, hey man, there's this guy that I want to introduce you to. He's my neighbor. His name's Chad. He's a big lifter and First Form affiliate also, and I think you'd get along with him too. And he has this like outdoor gym thing, and like the first thing that came to my head was like competitor. Like I don't want to know this guy.
Yeah.
Fast forward, becomes one of my best friends. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went to one workout and I was hooked on the energy and everything that was going on with it. So at the beginning of January, end of December, something like that, I started my CPT. I had to get my personal training cert. I got it maybe 3 months later and started training with them as an outdoor personal trainer, and it was fun. It was my first toe dip into personal training and group fitness. And yeah, the company was, after a couple months of being there, the company itself was 13 years old, but had some troubles during COVID, and there were some decisions that they made that a lot of people didn't agree with, and slowly but surely, like, people started leaving, and that's when, what was I about to say? With that, I had met a gentleman by the name of Phil Palmer, who is the founder of the Warrior Wad, and that's a whole nother story. But we had become very good friends at the time, and he became a mentor of mine. We'd check in every now and then and have lunch, and in like March, he was like, hey man, so obviously you don't want to stay with this company. Where do you see yourself training, and what do you see yourself doing? And I was like, I have no idea. Like, I don't want to go work at a big box gym, but I know that I can build a business somehow.
Can I pause you for a second too? So when you, in the transition from the job that, let you go during COVID and then Camp Gladiator, where were you at in your entrepreneurial personal development journey? Like, were you actively seeking an opportunity where you could have more authority over your schedule, your clients? Because Camp Gladiator kind of was, it was a little toe dip into entrepreneurship with you kind of having your own thing. Like you had your own clients, you ran your own schedule, that type of a thing. So where were you at that time?
I was trying to go all in on my personal finance business.
Okay.
And that didn't work, to say the least.
Yeah. Probably introduced you to the idea of how good it could be if it was something you were passionate about, and something that clicked with you.
Yeah, and I mean, before I even moved here, probably around 2015, that's when I started listening to Andy Frisella and the MEF CEO project and started doing personal development and investing in myself. So I had always worked towards entrepreneurship and knowing that I could either be a great entrepreneur or intrapreneur. I wanted to go the intrapreneur route just because it's safer. But when it comes to my personality, and with a good company, I could be an entrepreneur. But so that's where I was at in between, was trying to grow my personal finance business and just realizing that it's not for me.
Not for you. You have a lot of entrepreneurs in your family too, right?